And we swing. I don't care what they say about me. 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 I'm a grinder, homes. I'm a shiner, homes. Got my diamonds on. Turn the camera on. In stacks I trust. Sips and school zones. Jolly ranchers in mud until my cup gone. No names told. I gotta stick to the code. I'm putting heat to my verses, but my mouth froze. All right. No, my internet does what my internet wants to do when it wants to do it. But welcome to Grown Man Mondays. And of course, today is Monday. So give y'all some time to come in right quick.
Come on in.
Some time for y'all to get ready as we set the table for the topics that we have tonight.
And let me just say this too while we prepare and everything, man. If there's anything that y'all want to discuss, drop it in the chat for sure. You know, I think I speak for my brethren when, if there's something that's on your heart that y'all want to discuss, drop it in the chat. We'll discuss it. I can freestyle just about anything, and I know my brothers can as well. So, let's chop it up. Grown Man Mondays each and every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Chopping it up. ESCO the Disciple, Black Vato, Mr. Kumseeboutme. Yeah, Kumseeboutme. Internet is a little choppy, but it's all good though. It's all good. We are live and in effect. Another beautiful Monday. Blessed to be in the land of the living as always. God is great. God is the greatest. Doesn't mean that I'm without issues, but here we are. Here we are. And I'm just waiting for my brothers to tap back on in. I see Vato is up, but I don't hear him or see him. Not sure what's going on, but I'm here. I am here, live and in full effect. Let's see what we got going on.
I'm back for the time being. Yeah, I'm back for the time being.
I need you to stop messing with our soul plane internet connection.
Some restart and some bring it back and some hold up and some.
Oh man.
No, that's T-Mobile. Soul plane must be T-Mobile. That's exactly what it is. T-Mobile.
I don't know what's going on
with the 5G. I hope they hear me saying what I'm saying. T-Mobile with the 5G. It ain't 5G.
That's clear. That's like more like 2.5 Gs right now.
Yeah, that ain't even 2.5 Gs.
What's going on with Vato? Where he at? What he doing?
So now that I say
yeah. I appreciate y'all bearing with us through the technical difficulties. I'm not sure what's going on with my brethren. But while I'm waiting for them to come back, let me just
I
get
got a delay.
off. Yeah, it's super delayed.
Yeah, it'll let me say something and then I can't hear it.
Well, while we waiting for my brothers to come back in, let me get something off my chest, man. So I have been off all social media platforms for about almost 2 weeks now, man. And I tell you, one thing about me is that when God speaks to me, I try to listen. I really try to listen. And what He told me specifically was, you need time to be quiet and you need time to sit still. I'm not the kind of person that really likes to talk a whole lot, believe it or not, even though I got, my own podcast or what have you. But I, I had to sit down somewhere. I had to just sit still and just allow things to kind of. Let me say it this way: you learn a lot when you're quiet. I made a reel or a short that says, if you ever want to know where you stand, just fall back. Because if people notice that you falling back, typically they reach out, hey bro, you good? You all right? What's going on? And when people don't reach out, barring any life events, anything like that, barring that, but if everything is all good and people don't necessarily reach out, then you know where you stand, point blank, period. So while I was taking the time to be quiet and like just really just keep to myself, it was also a secondary secondary uh byproduct of me being quiet, which is basically observing how things were and observing certain things. And I've learned that, there is a lot of peace in being still, there's a lot of peace in being quiet, but you also learn a lot. There's a reason why you have two ears but only one mouth. It's designed for you to listen more. And when you're speaking and you're talking so much, a lot of the times you don't really hear a whole bunch because you're more focused on what you got to say versus listening to what's being said to you. So I encourage anybody, don't always feel like you always got to be on the scene. Don't always feel like you always got to talk, be audible. Sometimes there is beauty in stillness. There's beauty in being quiet. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about the people in your circle or in your surroundings. You learn a lot. So I definitely, I'm just thankful for the time that I have been able to really learn and really just really uh take in and learn things in my stillness, in my quietness, in my wilderness, if you will. So that's all I had to get off my chest, man. It's definitely beauty in being quiet, and I'm enjoying my quiet time for sure.
So would you consider you being in the peak or the valley in your quiet spot?
Oh, now that's a good question right there, man. It depends on the moment. I mean, there's times where I'm at the peak because, when you're high up, there's not a lot of noise. Noise doesn't travel upwards. So when you're high up, you don't hear as much as you would on the ground level. So there's times when I'm at the peak of the mountain, and there's times when I'm at the valley. Just really depends on the moment, man. But for the most part, I would say it's kind of like a heart monitor. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. But as long as that's the case, that means I'm still alive, and I cherish every moment that I can sit here on this side of the grass and relish and breathe the breath of life.
So would you call it? Are you at peace with yourself right now? From 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago versus right now, on
Right,
a scale of 1 to 10, where's your peace?
I would say right now on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably at about an 8. And 3 weeks ago, I was probably somewhere around 5, 6. So my peace has definitely elevated because I don't have as much noise to filter out. So yeah, definitely. I mean, you still have life challenges and you still have things going on. But as far as on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably at about an 8 right now, and I'm comfortable with that. I'm definitely comfortable with that.
You sound confident and comfortable with that versus 3 weeks ago when you were talking. And you can definitely tell if someone cares about someone, you can definitely tell in their tone or frequency in their voice. Like with me, I get animated when I talk about something that I'm passionate about. My whole level changes, my words, all that. So I'm saying that I can see the difference and hear the difference in your spirit. That's why I say, are you in that peak? Are you in that valley? Because you got to go through both, period. You got to go through both of them, period. And it's how you perform in those places that will define you. You ain't got to worry about anybody else defining you. I guarantee when you are in both places, you're going to define whoever you are at that time, whoever you've been around, whoever you've been listening to. That's exactly the reflection that's going to be shown all across the table if someone cares. I mentioned to somebody last week, when you have no friends, it's real quiet. Yeah, when you have your friends, you're lonely. You're by yourself. When you ain't got no friends, and that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Because when we was younger, we were surrounded. Even if we moved in silence, well, I move in silence. I'm pretty sure you move in silence. What I mean by silence is I can carry my own weight, and I don't need any extras to carry my weight. I can carry my own weight, and my weight is a little different to carry than others. And at some point, I didn't even want, I didn't even want that. I didn't even want that light, all that projection. But now it's okay. I know what I'm talking about. It's called that light. Sometimes we gotta go sit down somewhere. I don't feel like telling you. It's gonna hurt me later on if I tell you. It's only why it's gonna hurt you, because you're not really gonna hear what I'm saying. And I know you're listening. I know when somebody listening because they apply what they heard. When you hear me, that means you just not gonna do. And you ain't got to do it because I say do it. Somebody else can come along, totally don't know you, and tell you the exact words I said, word for word, and you do it for them.
Yep.
Well, at least you got confirmation.
Absolutely. You said so much right there. I wanna kind of touch in on a couple of the things that you said.
Go ahead on.
Uh, the first thing is the fact that you have to have a valley and you have to have a peak. You know, a lot of people want to have the glory, but they don't want the story. A lot of people want the testimony, but they don't want the test. Um, Life is like a heart monitor. It goes up, it goes down. As long as that's the case, as long as that thing ain't flatline, that means you're still living. So you got to expect that you're gonna have good times, you're gonna have bad times. That's just the cycle of life. But nevertheless, as long as that continues to be the case, then you still have something left to do, or something left to accomplish, or something left to experience. And it's really important that we don't forget that, don't be so don't always be don't always focus solely on the bad, in a sense that, oh my god, things are, but try do and it's hard real time. A lot of the times you get your revelations after the fact, but try to look at it from a sense of, what is this trying to teach me? Because every loss ain't a loss, especially if you have gained any kind of experience, wisdom, knowledge from an event that people on the outside looking in might deem as bad. Then it's not necessarily a loss, but it is experience. So a lot, even things like when you lose a job or you get out of a relationship, you're starting over, but you're starting over from experience. You see, in order for you to get any kind of knowledge or wisdom, you got to go through things. When you go to school, when you learn or whatever, same thing. You don't just go to school and then have wisdom, but you have learned and you've gone through something in order for you to obtain that wisdom. So I appreciate you saying that. And then what was the other thing that you said, man? You just said so much so fast. Um, but yes, definitely the peaks and valleys are essential part of life. And then thinking not
Oh yeah,
strange
and I
that
was
you
talking
go
about when
through
you're by
peaks and
yourself.
valleys.
When,
Yes,
yeah, when you
being by
by
yourself,
yourself, you ain't
yeah,
got no
being by
friends.
yourself. Right. Yep, that was the other thing I
Yeah,
wanted to tap into. People
yeah.
throw that
You ain't
word
got to worry
friend
about
around
no
way
noise.
they throw that word friend around way too loosely, man.
Yeah,
Everybody that you're calling a friend is not your friend. You
no.
know, Everybody that you say, oh, that's my friend. You know, a lot of the times some of the worst hurt in the world, it don't come from your enemies, but it come from people that are quote unquote friend. It quote people that call you bruh, sis, cuz, all that. That's some of the worst hurt that there is, man. People have to learn to be comfortable in being alone. Now,
Yeah,
I
because you're
don't mean
sharing
that in a
time.
sense. Yeah, I don't mean that in a sense that you should always that you should isolate yourself. But every now and then, every part of your journey does not have to include somebody else. A lot of the lessons that you learn are for you, and then you can give it to those that come behind you. But people are so intent on, oh, I gotta be in the mix. I gotta have people around me, not knowing that the more people that are in your circle is the more hurt that you can potentially expose yourself to. So you gotta learn to be comfortable in being by yourself. Um, it doesn't make you weird or anything like that. You should value your alone time, and that way it strengthens you as a person. So that way anybody that comes into your mix, they have the potential to enhance what you already have on your own. You should not have to your 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 legacy or your destiny is not going to always be tied to somebody else. You build
Yeah.
that on your own, and if there are other people that come along the way, then so be it. But don't be afraid to rock by yourself. Is basically what I want to say.
Yep. And I want to, and I'm gonna just tag right along with you. I'm gonna open up a page. I'm gonna read something out of my book. That's why I got that plugged in. I'm gonna run right
Yeah,
along with
the
it.
whole
I'm gonna write. It's called "BU." This is the chapter called "BU" in my book.
okay, go for it.
All right. It say when you move in this reality, people build a perception of you. This view is usually airbrushed with wishful thinking. We are somewhat guilty of this. People often recall red flags in hindsight, but upon first meeting, see people the way they want them to be. What does that mean for you? It means that people will often want you to live up to the image of you they have created. You do not have to do it to live up to that, though, if it doesn't align with your interests. For better or worse, these images can be privileged or disempowering and have a lot to do with one's skin color, height, build, etc. Most of these factors are out of our control. As discussed in earlier chapters, you should not try to control that which is out of your control. That was a handful. So, what should you do? In my estimation, the best mode of being is to be oneself. Simply be who you are and stay true to your core identity. This will result in immense self-respect. Most lack of self-respect is a result of people being aware of their own hypocrisy. When you act the way people want you to act, you lose your own respect. But when you stand by what you believe in, you can stand with your head high, even if you take a temporary loss. That was a handful.
That's good, man. Can you just expound on that a little bit more for me?
Being you, I'm 6 foot. Look, I'm bringing to y'all just like this here. I'm 6'6", 330 something pounds. I got tattoos everywhere, stuff in my mouth, dreads down to my back. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever the hell somebody think of what you know what I'm saying? And I didn't even want to say it like that, but everybody got their preference. But I can't control that. You know what I'm saying? I can't control that. Yeah, I grew I'm just saying I can't control your hair naturally grow. I just can't control that. And none of that right there should stop somebody from being successful in any type of world you in. You understand what I'm saying? What world you in? I mean, every time you step outside of a door, you're going into another world. You step outside your door to go to work. You step outside your door to go to the store. You step out, you go into another world. And everybody has a different way they act in these worlds. Me, I like to act one way in all worlds. So therefore, you know who I am and what I stand for by letting my yes be yes and my no be no. Be yourself. Be you. No matter how many L's you took, no matter what they said was wrong, and you did it. See, that's where I feel us as human beings feel at. Because we'll do something, quote unquote, that's wrong that this group of people don't like, and then get discouraged and then stop living for a long time because now you don't never feel bad about what you did, done, or doing. I'll say this again. If you want to know the real power that you want to gain back to yourself is to don't worry about what's right and wrong. Don't concentrate on that. Because if you are in your lane, you're going to be led to do whatever it is that's in front of you that you need to be doing. By you being you. You act like somebody else, you're going to end up like somebody else. You act like
Wow. Acting like
gotta
somebody
go
else, you'll
search
end up
for
like
nothing.
somebody else.
You ain't got to search for nothing. You know, people, chasing this. I ain't chasing no dreams. I ain't wake up and said I was going to graduate from college. I ain't wake up and said I was going to write a book. I ain't wake up and said I was going to be in the ESPN magazine. I ain't wake up and said I was going to get stabbed in the back. I ain't wake up and said that you can Google I ain't wake up and say none of that. I just did it. I did it by just staying in my lane and then figuring out who I was as a human. And some of the steps I did as a human, a lot of us, if we could we won't try it though. We'll hear all this good ass information. We'll hear all this good old knowledge. We'll hear all these preachers. We'll get all that and won't apply not now. I can't even say ounce, milliliter.
That's good, man.
Because of somebody else. I had to pause and say that. Because of somebody else. What you mean because somebody got you fucked up? We miss a lot of shit by somebody got us fucked up. Am I lying?
Nah, you're not. Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head, man. You know, it's crazy because you think there is billions and billions and billions of people that's walking on this earth right now, and you will think, well, I'm just another person, so I don't really have any significance. But biologically speaking, you're not the same as anybody else. Let's just start there. You know, everybody has different DNA, so there's something that's unique about you that can't nobody else say. Now, you might have similarities, you might have similarities of somebody down the street, or you might have certain things that you can identify with other people, but at the end of the day, um, God saw fit to create a you, even though there are billions and billions of other people that are on this earth. So be the best you that you can be.
Be
Don't
the
be the
best you.
next such and such, but be the first you. And you fill
Be
in a
the
blank
best
after that,
you. I love it.
whatever it is that you're designed to do. Like you said, you didn't grow up saying, "Oh, I'm gonna write books, so I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that." But just as you have evolved as a person, as a father, as an employee, as a black man in America, you have evolved into so many other things that that's basically just you're part of your story. You know, people looking at you like, oh, this guy here, another hoodlum, another, dreads, goals, shades,
Another,
jewelry.
I
Oh,
got one for
another,
you. Another
another
successful black man.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But they don't see the depth.
Someone who's a people's person too. They don't like that one, Esco. Oh, when you
Nah,
not just your race. Let me talk to y'all outside. Not just your race. You don't make just your race comfortable. You make other races comfortable. You are a chameleon. You can talk to any type of people and get them to all react the same way. That's how much power you have. If you can go in there and you change the energy. See, a lot of us want to change the energy, but the energy, that's not what you want to change. I said that slow and I said it twice, just for the simple fact that you go in there, you could be the wrong energy.
can be depending upon
Oh, I thought you said it.
depending
I
upon
thought you said
the
there wasn't no such
environment.
thing as right and wrong. I thought you said there wasn't no such thing as right or wrong. Okay. So you go over there. If you go over there, them the same people that in that story he said, he said, man, what you gonna do? I'm gonna send you over there with people. Them people over there. He said, what people? I'm gonna put an X on your head so they'll know
who you are. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, some people you don't supposed to be around. That was just the moral of the story. There's some people you ain't supposed to be around. Yeah, Cain and Abel. I'm talking about Cain and Abel. Yeah, and I'm talking about when he had to talk with God, and God told him, "Say, hey, look, your punishment. I'm gonna send you over there to them people." And you should have said, "Hey, what people? Yeah, them people over there. Them people that I ain't tell you about over there, but they over there." See, it's a lot of stuff we missed when we was little, though. It's a lot of stuff we missed when we were little. What I'm saying is a lot of stuff we missing right now because we missed it when we was little. Because somebody told us we wasn't being you. You wasn't being you because you let somebody build you. Well, now you got to break that shit down. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you like this here. You got to break it down now. You got to chew it up. You understand what I'm saying? That's why them horse and then they got them long teeth. They teeth like human teeth, but they long because they got to grind it. You got to grind some of this stuff. When you only got to grind it, you already talk to your kids like that when you're mad at your kids. You got to grind it. You got to grind that. You got to grind it. A lot of times you grind it because you got to eat some of the own stuff. You got to eat the stuff that you prepared. That's where you grinding it. And you got to eat it because that wasn't supposed for you. That wasn't you. That wasn't your meal. You took that. That wasn't your meal. Yeah, that was somebody else's meal. What's for you is for you. Look, y'all. I'm ESCO. Let me cook right quick.
Okay.
About a year ago, I got fired from a place I was working at for 2 years. And in 90 days, I moved up, and then I moved up again, and then I moved up again. I didn't move up. I moved up because good work ethic. And I understood. And I overcame. This is before the child's death, y'all. This is before the child's death, and I overcame. Then towards the end, after the child's death, I was like, okay, this ain't fun anymore because they took the joy out of it. So I end up getting fired. The person that fired me, and there was a wrongful termination. Let me tell y'all something. Now, I was hurt. And I didn't want to say I was hurt, but I was on podcast and I was talking about the situation, and the people that knew me knew that I was still hurt about it. Almost to this day, I was still hurt about it because how you going to get rid of somebody that want to work? I'll say that one more time because today don't nobody want to work. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. But how you going to get mad today when somebody want to work? So when somebody want to work, you get rid of that person. See, I was told by an old school cat that, hey, man, hey, it ain't what you did. Is they got to fire you because you're doing what you're supposed to do. They got to let you go because you're doing what you're supposed to do. I had to learn that at an early age. Go ahead. You know what? I'm going to stop right there. I know why I'm in that story, but ESCO, I need you to come in and polish them for me. Go ahead and I put it in the fire. I need you to come polish it. Polish up what I was saying, man.
So what I'm gathering from what you're saying is even an environment that might have some benefit to you, it's not always for you. You could be doing everything right, but let somebody say something or let somebody have a problem with what you're doing, and they can manipulate the situation to where you now look like the bad guy, or you look like the irritant, for lack of a better term. And it's funny you said that because I actually had a similar experience at a job where I was rising the ranks. I was doing everything that that was being asked of me. I was performing exceptionally well, but yet I got let go basically due to jealousy, and people having a problem with a black man. Let's just call a spade a spade. I'm a man of color to do better than his white counterparts. Of course, they're gonna give you a whole bunch of foolishness of why, but at the end of the day, you gotta call a spade a spade. So, although we are put in environments sometimes where we can flourish, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's where you need to be. And a lot of people get blinded by the benefits of where they are, but realizing that, everything that glitters ain't gold. Just because you're getting paid doesn't mean that you need to stay there, because, what does a man profit to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Like you be in these places where like
You losing your
everything
soul.
looks good.
You said it right.
Yeah,
you losing your
everything looks
soul every
good,
day you come to
but on
work.
the inside you dying.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I got from what you said.
And you know what? You hit it right there on the tee. You was in my shoes. And we miles and miles away. You was in my shoes. So
Yeah,
with right there where he was at, to go back to the store. So a year later, after I got the, unemployment and whatnot, I got employed by this place and they took me in. Of course, I had to go through the hazing. But in the same time span that it took me in one place, the same time span it took me in another place, and they said, we not letting you go nowhere. And then I just not got, another promotion to where I'm the kitchen manager now. I ain't had no, I was a manager, but now I'm the kitchen manager. Like, I'm head of the kitchen. And they first give me the same pay I was getting at the other place when I got wrongfully fired. And the day that I got the news that I was the kitchen manager, I seen the same person in a position they did not want to be. I'm not gonna put all that business out there.
the person
And I
that
did
let you
not
go
say,
the person that let you go.
The person that let me go on the same day, it was on the same day. Them people told me, and then 2 hours later, I get a phone call and say, man, guess what? Such and such and such and such. Yeah. And I was like, look here, man, look. For one, you don't know who's protecting me. You don't know who's protecting. You don't know who protecting these. You don't know. Yeah. I ain't even worrying about the other stuff out there. I just know what's protecting me got me. And all I got to do is just obey. Just obey.
That's it. That's
Very
it. That's
thankful.
all,
Very
man. I
thankful.
mean, when something is for you, there's not going to be anything that's going to be able to stop it from being for you.
But it's going to be a whole lot of you don't want to happen till you happen.
Yeah.
That's why some of y'all ain't experienced it yet, because you ain't built for it right now. You're just not built for it right now. You don't know how to take a loss. You've been winning your whole life. You don't know how to take a loss.
Or you've been winning your whole life, so when it's time for a loss, it's foreign to you. It's like what? Like, or you're appalled by the fact that you got to sit down somewhere. Like,
and you just don't know that you getting pulled out that situation. Ain't nothing you did. I used to always think it was something that I did. I used to always think it was something. It was never what you did. You outgrew that. You got to know that you outgrew some. Outgrowing some stuff hurt. You lose.
That's why I say, man. That's why I say, man. A loss ain't a loss if you have gained anything from it. And the things that we get so caught up in where we were, not realizing that where we're going is a lot better than where we were. And you putting a limit on what can be done for you because we're comfortable. Oh, because we're comfortable, we're comfortable with certain things. There's no growth in comfort. No growth in comfort whatsoever.
But they
was cannot grow by staying the same.
Yeah, comfort is safe. Yeah, it's safe.
It's safe, but there's no growth there.
Yeah,
there's no growth. That's why there's something called growing pains. It hurts to grow. It hurts to grow. But that's why I said a lot of people, they want the glory, but they don't want the story behind it. Like, you want all the, you want to look good, but you don't want the preparation. You don't want the grind. You don't want to, like you said, grind. Yeah. You don't want the grind. You don't want to grind your teeth. You don't want to do nothing for it. So we got to do better, man. As people, we have to do, well, let me not say people. Some of us have to do, because there are people that get it right out the gate. I can't say that I was one of them. I hate it. At first, I hated losses. I hated when things did not go the way that I wanted to. I hated it.
You had super grace, though.
No. Actually, no. I didn't give myself grace. I had grace on me, but I didn't realize
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
we
But I
call those
didn't.
runners. Down here where I'm from, we call those you ran or you run away from your car and you're running.
No, that's not just where you at. That's everywhere. That's everywhere, man. When you running from
Running
what
from
you're
that
supposed to be
calling,
going,
boy.
you're a track star for
Your ass
real.
gonna run. You're gonna keep running around with that run around. Gonna catch that run around. Run right
Yep.
into it, just like that.
But the thing is that you run long enough, eventually you get tired.
You're gonna get tired.
You go get tired. I don't care how
Feet gonna get
fit
hurt.
you are.
Yeah.
Even the strongest person gets tired. Even the person that trains the most gets tired at some point. I don't care. I don't care who you are. You might run for a year, you might run for 2 years, but at some point you get tired of running, man. You get tired of running, and that's when you gotta go sit down somewhere, like the old people used to say, go sit down somewhere.
Go sit down. We saying that earlier. Go sit your long-legged ass down somewhere.
Yep. Go sit down somewhere. Right.
You're doing too much. You ain't got to worry about nobody telling you you're doing too much.
But honestly, though, for real though, if you are really honest with yourself,
Thank you.
will know when you're doing too much.
Thank you.
I think people, it's easier for me to point fault in you, but examining yourself it's a different type of, it's different. But we're supposed to examine ourselves first and foremost. You shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Like, you're not perfect.
Yeah.
Breaking news. You got mess too that need to be fixed.
Newsflash.
Yeah, this just in. You got stuff. This just in. You got stuff that needs to be worked on yourself. Like, and when people start taking accountability for their own mess, I think the world will be a better place. Unfortunately, I don't think that we're. Yeah, but I don't think that we will.
It'll reset.
At least in my lifetime, I don't think we'll ever get to a point where more people than not taking accountability for their own mess. It's easy to blame other people.
At this point, it's a lot of bamboozle. It's a lot of bamboozling too. Again, you know what we was talking about before we started. Remember we was talking about before we started? Like it's like it's out of our hands now. Because you know what I'm saying, when the decisions was in and it was time to all this division and everything, and it boils down to
pretty much.
To this versus that, and none of it can exist. You know what I'm saying? Like both of them has to exist. We can call it good, bad, God, devil. I don't. It really don't bother me what it's called. I just know this and that gonna happen. But I feel like if we do that, it'll reset. What I mean by reset, something is preventing us from doing that. Let me just say that. Something is preventing us from doing that.
So,
Studying ourselves to be approved, but you got to go check it out, man. You put all the symbols together, that's a key. What I mean by all the symbols, I mean all the religious symbols. If you put all, I've seen this before. I've seen this when I was researching. I'm saying if you put all those symbols together, all those symbols that divide us, you put all this, that's a key to unlock the universe. Why you think they practiced so hard and they did it? They were successful to where we just so divided that it's damn near impossible to come together. It's so divided.
Wow.
You can't tell Jehovah's Witnesses. You can't. Jehovah's Witnesses talk their language. Muslims talk their language. Christians talk their language. Buddha, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, you can't get one to convince the other to come together.
And that's sad, man, because there's so much more.
But y'all best friends. But you best friends.
I didn't even add that part
in. You best friends.
The sad part about what you're saying, man, is that there is so much more power in unity, man. So much more power. And I think people think that unity means you got to agree with everything down the line.
It's not agreeing. It's just moving in the same motion.
Yeah.
With the same belief.
you have, like, just to use sports analogies, you got people on the same team throwing blows and knocking each other out, but nevertheless, when it comes time to go to battle, like, they are on one accord. Like, forget how you feel about me, but if we have the same vision, then we are allowed to disagree with how that vision plays out. But as long as we come together and unify, to strive towards that common goal, it's hard to stop. It's a lot harder to stop unity than it is to combat division. And what I mean by that is that if people are so intent on fighting with each other, you don't have to fight them, because they go kill each other. That's why I think, like, people like cops and stuff, like, they don't necessarily go into the black neighborhoods, because they have a preconceived notion that they just go kill each other. Whereas if black people actually come together, or the people in these neighborhoods come together, now it's a unified force moving towards doing things better. But
And
if
then
we
they
so
kill a
intent
leader.
about fighting each other, then
Then they kill a leader.
Pretty much,
You
right?
gotta add that in, because when we do come together, because he's not saying we never came together. Every time we came together, they killed the leader or killed somebody close to the leader. Just look it up, man. Look at the whole lineage of the whole anything. I don't care what color, shade, ethnic. You got to look at all the leaders and why they was taken out. They was assassinated and taken out, and they told us one reason, but that was not the reason. Them people was supposed to start their own unity. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, a bank. So, that's economics. That's money. Oh, man, come on now. There's a lot of world leaders that got taken out because they say, you know what? We ain't fit to do the same shit y'all been doing over there and fucking the people over. We fit to do this shit over here, and we fit to love each other. They're going to take you out. That's why it's scarce now. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's, oh, man, I don't know. The last person who went out there, they took him out. But somebody's going to overcome that, and just like it's written. You understand what I'm saying? You take one from the team, you live forever.
Yeah, that's true.
But you ain't got to worry about that because you live forever anyway. You don't know how many times come on, man. You know how many times you died? Whoa. You know how many times you died? Huh? You know how many resurrections you done had? Come on now. But we waiting to see one, but don't even recognize our own. And when I mean don't recognize our own, you don't even praise yourself. How you going to praise something else and you don't praise yourself? It ain't going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to, but you got to pray. No, you got to praise yourself first. You made in the image. So you're not mad. And I don't like saying he. God's not mad. God's not mad. Actually, God is so happy that you sat up there and reminded yourself on what God said, that you was made in the image. So what you waiting on? Anybody that's listening, what you waiting on? It's not worrying about the wordplay. That's other people trying to divide us, man. There's other people that got some knowledge and gonna tell you gonna go to hell because you ain't agreeing with the knowledge that they giving. I don't think that's love. That's not love. If I'm gonna tell you supposed to go somewhere that you trying to live your whole life trying to avoid. I ain't supposed to put you in that place right there. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you you're living wrong. That's not my job. I'm not the judge. I'm not the judge.
Yeah.
I'm not the judge. I ain't even asked to be the judge.
It's so easy. It's a lot easier to condemn others than to look in the mirror, man.
Yeah, because you condemn yourself. You just don't know how to do it to yourself. So you pick somebody else. You pick somebody else and you pick on them because you're really picking on yourself. Because you're attracted.
I never thought about it that way, honestly. I never thought about it that way, but that makes a lot of sense.
You're attracted to your own.
You are so disgusted with yourself
that you got to pick somebody else, and that somebody else reminds you of yourself. That's why you're so angry.
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself.
No, you're right. You're right. I never thought about it that way, but that makes a lot of sense, man. It really does. It really does. You so disgusted with yourself that you are channeling that disgust onto somebody else, disguising it as identifying their faults when maybe you see some of the things in yourself that you can identify because it's within you. So that makes a lot of sense, man. I never really thought about it that way. Never thought about it that way. That makes a lot of sense.
They said be a newborn baby, huh? Didn't it say? Didn't it say you got to be a newborn baby? What does a newborn baby do? Well, if the newborn baby ain't crawling just yet. So I just want to skip a few stages and just go to the crawling stage. On the crawling stage, you putting everything in your mouth. And you are, for some reason, protected, but you don't know, you have no clue of what's going on, but you already protected. Oh, I just saved somebody. I know I just delivered somebody. I missed the stage in the birth part. You cut the umbilical cord, boom, you got to go a little while, then you start crawling, figuring shit out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Putting shit in your mouth. Oh, but the shit in your body that you already got, fighting that stuff off.
Yeah.
So you already got a defense system. So now you gotta know that when you get a little bit older, you got a defense system. I don't know when we forget that we got a defense system. Then it got to be reenacted to us because we got to go to a place now that teaches that. But now the places that's teaching that, they done changed. They done switched up on us. They done changed because they trying to catch up with the times. But they don't know ain't no such thing as time. So why they just didn't stick with the tradition? The tradition was getting people saved and was getting people healed. But then all of a sudden, it was some things that came and infiltrated. It came and infiltrated. And we let it infiltrate. But they had these weapons of mass destruction. That's why I say no weapon formed against you will prosper. No cell phones, no weapon, none of that. These are weapons that got doggone me Wi-Fi. I asked somebody the other day, why are we paying for Wi-Fi? I just want somebody to sit and ponder and think because it's everywhere. But how did they measure it off to get us to pay for it? If they can do that, they can get us to do anything they want. They put the truth because you got to tell the truth. They put the truth right there in your face.
That's just like paying for water, man. Same thought process. Why are we paying? If you can go down to the beach, you can go down to the river, and you can scoop up water for free.
Well, that's what they were doing back then.
So the only thing I'm paying for is for it to come out of a faucet in my house or to come out of a shower head. Same thing, same principle. Same principle.
They can get us.
You raising some
they
very
can get us to just get off track.
Yeah.
To get off track, you paying for water. We off track. Back then, they wasn't paying for no water. That wasn't even a thought. Now somebody come up with the idea of how to filter it and all that, just like the young man. The young man on the social site, they say he done disappeared, but that boy done made gas out of some plastic. Waste. Plastic waste. Man disappeared. He said they was gonna come after me. He was doing it in his where he was protected at, in his hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying his hood. But he was protected by them people. But once you did that, you knew that it was gonna come after you because you didn't expose them. They're always coming after you when you expose them. Even when you ain't got no money. Let's get to the people who ain't got no money. I ain't talking about the people with money. I'm talking about the people without no money. They come to expose you if they can divide you.
I'm so glad you said that. It's amazing how the people without money are the majority, but yet don't have any real power. That has always I've always been blown by that mentally. Like the people that have money or the well-off people, I would say is about maybe 1% of the world's population is the one that are well. I'm talking about
the ones that's running the world. Yep, you're right.
Right, but the other 99% who are, not even just exclusive to poor people, but even like middle class people, like people like tax paying people, because the people that's well off, they find a way to get out of taxes, but let somebody making $60,000-$70,000 a year try to do that.
They on their neck.
Yeah.
But they're not on the neck of the real criminal. They're not on the neck of the real criminal. And the middle class ain't no criminal. It is what it is.
Yeah, man.
There's a way, there's a will. That's why I say, man, what's for you is for you, and however it happened to you is how you projected it to be. What I mean by projected it to be, mind frame, the way you think, the way you perceive things, the way you perceive things, a projection, the way you project your shit. Now, ain't nobody got to listen to the words you got to say, but we damn sure don't know what the fuck you thinking in your head. I wish your eyes can put the little vision on a door or a wall to where we can see what the hell you really going or what you really hear.
Yo,
but
if that was possible, man. Oh, baby. This world would be if that was possible, man, you think this world is messed up
it'd be real then. It'd be real then. We get to see. You walk around, your eyes open, you gotta close your eyes like Cyclops. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to tell us something. You gotta close your eyes like Cyclops. Because if you open them and it's a wall somewhere, like the screens that they got coming out, we can see what the hell your intentions for. We don't even gotta go through the bullshit. We can just intentions, wrong. Fuck you over. NPC. Here to make you do the same shit you've been doing that you're trying to pass. Hello. It's the I don't give it's hey look, it's the same little shit. It'd be in different people. Ain't that shit? You can live in one spot for 5 years, go to another spot for 2 years, go to another spot for 1 year, go to another spot for 6 months. And every last one of the places you went to, it's gonna be somebody to remind you of somebody.
Yeah.
That shit right there tell you something right there. I just helped somebody out too.
Yeah.
That should tell you something right there. That's not something that you should overlook. Well, why is I meeting this person was just like that? Yeah, because your ass still ain't got what you're supposed to get from that. You still gotta. It's toxic. Some of it good, man. You toe up in the head.
That's man. Listen.
You toe up in the head. You don't know where you going or coming, man. You better cut some of that shit off and do what you said, ESCO. Sit your ass down somewhere.
Sit down somewhere, man. Like, period. Like, that's it.
You got to know.
Somewhere,
you
man.
took a voluntary. Ooh, I used to say this all the time. Ain't nothing like a voluntary sit down. You want a forced sit down or a voluntary sit down?
Man.
Huh?
The voluntary sit down, that's
That's the good one.
I think that's the one where you
didn't open up a shop.
Yes, and it's a lot of self evaluation. It's so man. Listen, it is so much growth in sitting yourself down. When you can take yourself out the mix, man, I'm telling you, man. Listen,
come on, just take yourself all the way out of there. Just out of everything. Get out of it. Just get out of everything. He said, ESCO told y'all, he said, I have not, well, he told me, I have not been on social media.
Going on 2 weeks now, man. And I'm telling you, man, like, the peace, the growth, it's been incredible. Now, obviously, I'm not going to stay off forever, but, I mean, just,
a voluntary sit down. See, this is Grown Man Mondays. We have said some important bulletins.
I'm trying to learn y'all something, man. Take yourself out the mix sometimes. Trust me.
Voluntary sit down. Because that involuntary sit down?
Listen, they involuntarily sit people down every day when they lock people up for nothing.
Man, you in my mental. You in there. You was right here.
I'm telling you, man.
You was right there. I got a little dread right there, but the little temple part.
They involuntarily sit people down all the time, man. Listen, don't be reactive, but be proactive. And listen, I'm telling you, man, the mix is gonna be there when you get back. It's gonna be the same people doing the same trash when you get back.
Trust me. Some of them gonna be looking good, and some of them you gonna be like, "What the?" And then when you see it, you're gonna be like, "Ooh, I'm glad." Yeah. I was trying to tell you to get over there and leave them people over there alone. I told you wasn't about them people. I tried to fit in so bad, it wasn't even funny. I just got kicked out of every group. You don't belong here. So I could just imagine a group of Skittles standing together and an M&M come in. We know you an Eminem.
Yeah.
You trying to trick us because of the colors. You understand what I'm saying? But you're not made
Man.
out of what we made out of.
I'm telling you, man, like that voluntary sit down, like sitting yourself down, examining
I got
yourself. I like it,
voluntary
man.
sit down. Let me write that down.
Voluntary sit down. It's not gonna be the cool thing to do. It's not, it's not popular, but it is, in my opinion, for me, it's necessary. I can't speak for anybody else. Again, of all the billions and billions of people in the world, I know myself the best, and I know when I'm feeling like kind of cloudy and feeling cluttered, I gotta sit myself down, I do it every so often, and it'd be the most randomest time. Like I'm gonna just kind of tell you how real it was for me. The last episode of my fourth season of my podcast that I do on Sunday nights. The last episode, I told everybody the first Sunday in August I'll be coming back. Not been back yet, and it was necessary for me. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I could come and kick it with y'all because this is grown men. But as far as me doing my solo thing, I was
Yeah.
not ready. So I had to sit so it was coming up to the time where I was supposed to be releasing the promo trailer for the new season, and I was not ready. I had to sit myself down. I'm like, yo, don't do something just because everybody expects you to do something. But do it because it feels right within your soul. But see, people don't want to hear that though, man. People do not want to.
No.
Everybody expects me to do X, Y, and Z. No, if it don't feel right within your soul, don't do it. And that's why I had to sit myself down. That was part of the reason, not all of it. Just to give a little bit of insight, that was part of the reason why I sat myself down. But everybody's so. Yeah, the voluntary sit down. I like that, man. I think I should coin that phrase, the voluntary sit down.
I knew it was going to look, ESCO, I knew it was going to get to this point. There's no mistakes. Me and you on here today, we chopped it up for a whole hour. The internet tried to do what it did, but then I came back flawless because it was needed today. Even on the replay, because I make sure I replay it later on. Somebody gonna get something out of what me and you just did today. And what me and you did today is what I saw, I want to say about a year ago. Like I saw that vision. I saw it when I was looking at your content. I saw it when I was looking at only certain content gonna reach my eyes. And I was like, yeah, I know I'm gonna work with them. And it came, I said, I knew I was gonna work with them. I contacted you through, we stayed solid till then. Now we podcasting. You know what I'm saying? And then the good thing about it, when we meet up in person, it's gonna be like, it's too much. It ain't too much, but hey, you want to talk about some destination, them two brothers was gonna get together at this time, and this is exactly what I had them doing.
Listen, I'm telling you, you can't stop a divine appointment.
No. Yeah, shout out to my boy Vato. I know he had an event at work. He had audits and everything, so my boy was busy. He had put a shout out in there. So yeah, we know we're gonna stand in the gap for him and stand in the gap. And,
no doubt. And that's what it is, grown men standing in gap for other grown men. At the end of the day, you gotta handle business, but you gotta handle your business. That's still our brother, I'm sure he listening or he'll catch it or whatever, but I feel like when things are divinely appointed, it always goes the way that's supposed to go. Just like when we had Kevin on a couple weeks ago. Yeah. That episode is still ringing in my head today.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that he dropped on us. And I wanna get in contact with him for when I do come back to do my solo show. I want to have him on as well. But everything goes the way that it's supposed to go. It's not by accident that things happen. It's not by accident that even we joke around about the internet messing up, but it's not. None of that is by accident, man. Because if you can still show resilience through things like that, man, it's a testament to just.
I don't give up, boy.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah,
Regardless of what's going on,
not.
don't give up. Keep going.
Yeah. Now, before we get out of here, because y'all know it's that hot hour right there. You know how we keep it right there with the real time. But before we go, get ready, because in October, all the people that's on the coast with some water at, you ain't got to worry about no hurricanes this year. October 29th, the aliens is coming, and they pissed off, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know, man. Y'all gonna get y'all some potted meat, some noodles. They coming down here. They supposed to be 7 foot tall. They black. They coming down here and they mad. They done told NASA. They done told the Pentagon, hey, look, when we get down there in October, we coming to kick some ass, some humans' ass. So I don't know what we did to piss these aliens off to where they got I don't even know what to call it, a telegraph. That ain't even a telegraph. The first thing should be running through y'all mind, audience, is how do the hell they know that them aliens is mad? That's the homework y'all got until y'all see us until next Monday. I want y'all to go find out. ESCO, I'm going to find out. ESCO, we going to find out.
Yes, sir.
Who talked to them to find out that they was mad? We going to find out. I need somebody to go do some research. I want to know how they know that they mad when they get here. They upset. All the shit we done, y'all upset today. We've been fucking up.
And on that particular day, I want to know what's significant about that day.
Before Halloween, you ain't even let the kids go trick-or-treating. Y'all better be careful this year, man. Don't dress your kids up as aliens. Let me stop.
Let's get on out of here, man. Closing
remarks. Let's get on out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for showing, man, and much love, ESCO. Vato, keep being great. This Come See About Me. Y'all go get the book, man. Don't judge a book by its cover. Y'all see us again next Monday, man. We out.
Either.
Tired of doing the same thing. Let's get this straight. I gotta say, we not have-nots. My time, don't waste. Tattoos, goatee, they don't mean a thing to me. You ain't no judge, so don't judge me. This is how I carry myself. They ain't teach me nothing. I don't know nothing. This is how I carry myself. They ain't teach me nothing. I don't know nothing else. Business, I take care of that damn. Else it was spills. I don't like that damn. Yo, hustle, it's very sour. Mojo hustle, Austin Powers, bring it in by the hour. I ain't fucking with these grams. I distribute it. I ain't hustling for an outfit. She ain't my type, she ain't gonna fit. Majority of these niggas are counterfeit. Right, stay on top of it. Survived off these eggs and grits. Thankful, some ain't have shit.